Hi, everyone. It's KB and
Maggie T.
we are here live at Esco, Atlanta for the WNBA watch party featuring the Atlanta Dream and the Toronto Tempo. We are going to give you some pre-game analysis as well as some commentary during the game and a little bit of commentary after the game. Now, feel free to post any comments here. Some destinations I know you can't post if you're seeing on it, but if you are on one of the destinations where you can see it and you can comment, please do so as well. We're very excited to talk to you all as well. If you're in Atlanta, I know the weather is kind of yucky a little bit, but come on down here to Esco. Great atmosphere, great food, and of course, we have Atlanta Dream as well. So Maggie, go ahead and introduce yourself for those that may not be familiar with you and let them know about just you and your knowledge of the Atlanta Dream.
Well, hey, I am a Atlanta native, born and raised, all diehard to all teams in Atlanta. So of course, just fitting I'm an Atlanta Dream fan. Of course, you don't have a lot of hometown people lately. But you know what? The Dream is just an amazing team, and you know how they're selling out on their season tickets and things like that. Amazing team. And I'm blessed to be covering them. But I do all types of Atlanta sports. Falcons mainly is my expertise, but I love the Dream as well. So I'm just excited to be here with KB Sports Media.
Yes, and so KB Sports Media covers a number of teams. That's why tonight we picked the Atlanta Dream versus the Toronto Tempo. So we cover the Aces, cover the Sparks. We also cover the Mystics, a few other teams that we cover as well. So although we are here to represent the Atlanta Dream here in Atlanta, this is officially a WNBA party, and we picked this game. Well, also because this may be the game that we can see in our region. So I want to start off by talking about the fact that there's 3 games going on right now at the same time. And I know you and I were talking about just kind of how convoluted that may be as well. So what are your thoughts on the fact that we have 3 games going on right now on Ion, which is great for Ion, I guess. What are your thoughts behind that?
My thoughts, especially while we're local here watching the game, it was hard to find them originally.
Right.
So it's like, it's kind of frustrated just a bit trying to figure out right before the game. Sometimes you got to pregame it because it's like, well, where is it broadcasting? Like how the Atlanta Hawks just recently did with Atlanta News First. I mean, I know the WNBA is a different league, but they need to figure out some type of solid platform where we can watch this. But being all 3 of these games on at the same time, it's hard to watch all the teams, and keep up with that if they're going to be on the same night, especially at prime time.
Right. Well, the one thing that I feel about it is that, like, right now my laptop, which we wanted to have on the game, is on the Indiana Fever and the Seattle Storm game, whereas what we are located here at Esco, it's actually on the Atlanta Dream and Toronto Tempo game. So that's a little confusing as well because I'm right here in the location and it's not pulling up the Atlanta game, but in fact it's pulling up the Indiana game. So if you're here and you're right where I am, you'll see the Indiana game, Seattle game. But if you're here with us in the location, we are actually watching and previewing the Atlanta Dream versus the Toronto Tempo. So I want to start by talking about some of the key matchups for tonight's game. So if we are looking at the injury report, one thing that when I posted this particular injury report in the fan group, a lot of people were surprised that Tahita Papau is questionable for tonight. Some of the fans were saying, we didn't see this injury. And I have to let fans know that sometimes these injuries, these tweaks happen maybe in a practice, in a shoot around or whatnot, where you don't know. So I want to check my email here. So we're going to see who the starting lineup is. And nevertheless, Tahina was not going to be in the starting lineup, but she could be a key contributing factor off the bench as the Atlanta Dream are trying to figure out what their bench will look like tonight. So we're going to look at the starting lineup for the teams tonight. So for the Atlanta Dream, we have Jordan Canada, Alicia Gray, Ryan Howard, Naz Hillman, and Angel Reese once again playing the 5 position. And so for the Tempo, they're missing a lot of their key players as well. Kiki Rice continues to be out. Brittany Sykes continues to be out as well. But they do have Marina Mabry, who is, of course, a star, all-star as well. So what are some of your thoughts around maybe Tahina Pow being out? And I'm going to just make sure she's actually active. Nope, she's out with a right leg injury. So it is, but exciting news is that Brianna Jones is active. So I'm going to have to post that for people to know that Bree Jones is actually active for tonight. So as I'm posting that, can you let everybody know what are your thoughts around the key matchups for tonight?
I mean, I think that we should be pretty all right, but that Pow is, how she assists and everything. It's gonna, that's gonna play a little bit of a factor, just a bit. But overall, everybody else is pretty healthy. I'm actually surprised that it was just one game out for Angel Reese. I'm glad of that. She kind of came right back and bounced back. So I'm excited to see, and then this team, I think we beat them the last game, if I ever recall.
I'll have to go back and look at that, but I'm pretty sure that, we did actually.
And it was a significant win, I believe.
Yep, it was actually at State Farm Arena, but we got that win. So speaking of Tahina Pow, what the difference that will make tonight is we already, as far as Atlanta Dream, they're without a lot of key players when it comes to having that bench. So they're not out, but we need to see more contribution from that bench.
Right.
We saw a lot of that in the last game. We saw Sika Kone contribute a little bit. We saw Medina Okot contribute. We saw Izzy Burlays. But overall, Atlanta has to figure out what that bench is going to be. And with Carl Smesco, he has to figure out what's going to be the rotation for that. How long are people going to be playing as well? So Tahina hasn't really gotten a lot of the minutes that I think a lot of the fans and a lot of Dream supporters have thought she should get as well. So it could be a good time for her to actually just get some rest and kind of find her way back into the rotation tonight as they play the tempo. So I want to get your thoughts on Bree Jones being active tonight as well. So of course I had to post that because so many people are going to be so excited about the news that Bree is active tonight.
At this point, I guess she's ready to kind of get in and get a little bit of time in and just kind of get comfortable with it. But I feel like coming off the injury, we got to be kind of careful with her and everything else for the most part. But I'm excited. I mean, I know the fans are extremely excited about it. Y'all drop a comment if you're in the chat.
Yeah, I think that for the Dream fans, they're very excited about having Bree Jones back. A lot of people are wondering what difference that's going to make, especially down on the block, where we kind of we're doing well on the block, especially with Angel Reese. But having Angel Reese and Bree Jones playing together can be very interesting. So again, guys, you just have to excuse me because I have to post these things in real time. Because we got the official word. So I'm here trying to edit, make sure we got that as well. So you have to forgive me for being getting that information out there because a lot of people are very excited about that. So going back to what we may see from Bree Jones tonight, I think we'll see her in limited minutes right now. She has to get back to conditioning as well. Just think about coming from a leg injury. Can be a lot, and to get back to WNBA form. So we want to see how well she's going to play. So I definitely see Carl Smesco playing her in limited minutes. Of course, giving a little break to Angel Reese at that 5 position, which, by the way, is not her primary position. She is really a point forward, which right now Niles Hillman is playing that position. So once Bree gets back activated, we will more likely see Nas move back to the bench, which is going to be good for the bench. And then Bree back to her 5 position, which would then bring Angel back to her true position of a point forward as well. So what are some of your key matchups to tonight's game between the Atlanta Dream and Toronto Tempo?
Well, definitely with I'm not sure.
That's okay. That's okay. I think we need to definitely keep our eye on Marina Mabry. She's a star. She's an all-star. She's the person that whenever her team is down and out, that she can carry that team on her back. We've seen it time and time again. Sometimes when we played them earlier, Marina got a slow start against us earlier, but they had an opportunity to come back in the game, and that was led by Marina and some of her great play as well. So I expect that to be what we see tonight with them as well. So scrappy team. Izzy Harrison, of course, we know what happened between Izzy and Angel in one of their matchups earlier in the year when Izzy kind of, let's say, slammed her down and got ejected from the game for throwing down Angel Reese. So that matchup is always going to be interesting. But I think some of that energy, if you will, some of that whatever happened, I think has died down. And I think tonight we're going to be looking forward to some really good banging in the paint between Izzy Harrison and Angel Reese as well. I'm excited to see that particular matchup. I think the tempo, again, being without really key players such as Brittany Sykes and rookie Kiki Rice, they're continuing to do well. Of course, they have a championship head coach that's making the adjustments. And I think, as I mentioned earlier, they'll lean on their all-star and Marina Mabry tonight in this particular game as well. Anything that you are looking forward to see? Of course, Bree Jones. Anything else you're looking forward to see with the Atlanta Dream?
Well, I feel like we this matchup we should be pretty all right, but I actually want to see how they do as far as just getting the paint and making these points and not turning over the ball as much. Just getting comfortable with that. I felt like the last game we saw a little bit of that, and I'm excited to see that because of course we've been having that losing slump where we just haven't been able to catch on, and just a lot of fouling and everything else that comes with it. I'm just excited to see how they match up this team.
Well, tonight, I think one of the things that I want to keep my eye on, aside from turnovers, because turnovers has been an Achilles heel, is also perimeter defense for the Atlanta Dream. We have seen time and time again teams that are able to get on the floor and shoot those threes. If you give another team the space, the Atlanta Dreams are suffering outside there on the perimeter. So getting out on the perimeter, especially when we've seen Medina Okot playing against a bigger player who can pull her a block, and getting back to her man on the block has been something that we really want to keep our eye on as well. Making sure also that we come out shooting well. When we are relying a lot on the three-point shot and it's not falling, we have to figure out. Sometimes you have to drive to the basket. Sometimes you have to figure out a different scheme to the offense. And so that's something that the Atlanta Dream may want to keep their eye on tonight is if that three isn't falling, if we're seeing an all-star like a Ryan Howard, who's had a couple of slow starts this season.
I hope she shows up today.
If that happens, what do? How do you, as Ryan Howard, say, hey, my shots are falling. I now need to maybe drive a little bit more, find my shot, because I can find my shot as well. Alicia Gray, of course, Alicia has always been great when we need a bucket. To me, she's Alicia Bucket. I think she's played phenomenal, played well. So I'm looking to see what those particular players bring to tonight's matchup. Any other things you're looking forward to tonight in the matchup?
Well, I just wanted to see just the double-doubles that this Angel Reese has just been piling on, just improving her stats. Is this the final game before the All-Star?
Nope, we have a game this weekend.
Okay. We do. Okay. Well, I just love to see what she has, what she's going to be doing, because I'm just maybe giving her so much critique and everything else. But Angel Reese has been one of the contributors to our team's wins, especially with her excitement, her grit, her attitude that comes with it. She's passionate.
Yeah, Angel Reese is typically a walking double-double. I like to say that she's definitely someone that we know that we're going to see from her a double-double. And just, again, somebody we can depend on as well. And in the key matchup against Los Angeles, one of the things that I had mentioned, if she was going to be out and she was not out, was going to be the offensive boards, because that was going to give Los Angeles an advantage. And we saw the difference it is when you have an Angel Reese in the game, those second chance opportunities that you see when she's in the game, those offensive rebounds that she gets that allows Atlanta to get back in the game slowly if they do find themselves down. The contributing factor sometimes is Angel Reese. And not to mention with Angel Reese, hopefully she's got that confidence after shooting that three and making it, which was a difference maker in that particular game. You see Angel hitting that three, and you're seeing that, hey, now it's lifting up her confidence Now, and you saw it. Wow.
Everybody else's confidence as well. It seemed like everybody was shooting those shots right after that. So it was like it was a momentum factor for everybody.
It definitely helped with momentum, and I definitely think that it helped with mainly, as I mentioned, her confidence. When I interviewed her earlier this season, I asked her, what's the one thing that you want to work on this season to improve your game? And the one thing she said is building her confidence when she's shooting. So making that shot, even though it was a little bounce about and roundabout and it went in, to be able to see, you saw, I think she went like this. I mean, she really showed her emotions after that particular shot. And as you mentioned, it kind of gave the team a momentum, and we saw a lot of turnovers on the other side of the ball with that particular momentum shift. And even though it was like about 3.5 minutes left, it made a big difference because a lot of other people got the confidence that they needed in this particular game. So, yeah, I mean, what about Jordan Canada? She's always been, in my opinion, the X factor for the Dream. And I think we don't talk enough about Jordan Canada. What are your thoughts on Jordan Canada this season? Maybe what she can contribute tonight.
Well, you know what? I feel like she attacks the basket a lot when it's coming down to, you know, a little bit of pressure and what we need to kind of tighten up and get in there and continue to score. A lot of great assists and everything else. I feel that they do need to talk about her a lot more because she is just amazing. She's an amazing athlete.
So I want to show everyone a clip of Coach Esco's pregame conference. Okay. So hopefully we can all hear this and add him into this stream for us. Okay. And so, yeah, let's get it to play. And there's going to be a little delay here, but
we're happy to be here. Great fan support here. I know it's been an exciting first season in the W for them, and we're happy to be here and looking forward to playing a game.
Take it away, guys.
Coach, I'm not sure if Bree is officially back. She's on courts.
Yeah.
Just kind of like how much are you looking forward to kind of having her back? Obviously, it's a full lineup.
One of the best players in the league. I think I always say she's the most underrated player in the league because she goes about her business and she's very quiet about it. She's not somebody that's going to be very boisterous, but she's just very productive and very efficient and very smart. And she just is a presence, a calming presence for everybody else involved. So we are definitely looking forward to her getting back on the court and getting some minutes and building back up.
Yeah, so we wanted to just give you all a little clip of the press conference, and in that, he actually talked about being excited about Bree coming back and what she contributes to the team as well. So I think that we all are excited to see what she does, but I want to really emphasize the expectations for tonight for Bree. As I mentioned earlier, this is a woman that's coming back from a surgery that's slowly going to be inserted into the lineup. And I think that thinking that she's going to come out and give us a double-double or 25 minutes or something like that may be a little bit unrealistic for her. Mm-hmm. But I think just getting back out there, getting into the energy can be something that can be really great for her. So I want to just kind of switch gears a little bit and talk about the expectations for All-Star Weekend, talking about those players that we talked about early on the Dream, as well as talking about Marina as well, that are all selected to the All-Star. So what are you most excited about seeing these particular players, again, both on the tempo and, of course, for the Dream, that you're excited to see at All-Star Weekend?
Well, you know, All-Star Weekend is such an exciting time just for WNBA, period. Just to see the players sometimes, they create a sisterhood. They kind of, learn some things from each other. And, so, and then, of course, it's still a competition. Everybody want to outshine. Everybody want to be the MVP, things like that. So I can't wait to see exactly how this competition is going to bring out our stars and how they look Just especially with Angel, where she's coming back home and things like that. That's a storyline in itself.
Right.
So it's to me, it's going to be truly exciting to see what Caitlin and it's going to be big press and big media about like these matchups. It's going to be amazing. I hope everybody's going to tune in this time.
Well, I don't know if I would call Chicago home for Angel personally, but I definitely would say it's the first stop for her career. I think I would probably say that. I think if I think home for Angel Reese, I would think either the DMV area, Louisiana, and then I think she's building a home here as well. So I want to ask a question. If you were to predict, if you were a gambling woman, I don't gamble, everybody. That's not what I do. Not a gambling gal. But if you were to gamble tonight and say, who do you think is going to be the MVP of tonight's game? Who would that be of tonight's game? Of course, on both sides for the tempo as well as the dream. One player, not on both teams, but one player for tonight who you think is going to be the key to the win tonight for, or maybe the team won't win, but who's going to be your MVP tonight?
That's a good question. I would say Angel Reese. I don't know, just Angel Reese.
And why is that?
Because she's just coming off, just feeling like she found herself. She's confident, like I said, she's learning, she's growing the team. Because at first when she started, she was getting adjusted to being a part of this team. But I feel like they got their flow. I was seeing a lot of assists where it was from Angel to Howard to Pau, like how everybody's kind of utilizing each other defensively as well. But I definitely feel like Angel Reese will be the MVP.
I'm going to go on the tempo side, and I'm going to go Marina. And the reason why I say that is because looking at her stats against Washington on Tuesday, this can be a good bounce back game for her. In that game, and I'm going to read them all so I'm not misquoting, she had 8 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists, 1 steal, no block, and had a 23% field goal percentage. That is not the way Marina typically plays. And the good thing about that is I think being on home court, playing against Atlanta, against a team that I think can bring the best out of her and to challenge her as well, I think that it's going to be a good bounce back game for her, because the game prior to that, 30 points. The game prior to that, 34 points. So I think that Marina Mabrey is going to have a bounce back game after that bad game against Washington and show us the all-star that we know that she is and that she's been all season long. So that's going to be my pick for the MVP, the star, the gold star for tonight's game against the Atlanta Dream and the Toronto Tempo.
And I think, like how we saw it in his last game, I think because it was a great team. When that pressure is on, I think that matchup is going to push out all the all-stars in this game right here. I felt like they used their best defense at the time. Their offense showed out even more when they had to it was like tight game, 2 points here, 2 points there. And you was wondering, okay, who's going to win this game at the end? And Atlanta took it home.
One of the things that I want to also see is how Atlanta responds early. It's been a concern about this team coming out earlier. Coming out not, and then also what I also have seen is that lately I've seen teams almost come back on them as well. I've seen teams cut the big lead down. I've seen teams where you go, oh man, if they only had a few more minutes, they could have gotten this win as well. Because I was asking teams in the opposing presser, outside of more time, what came in your way of getting this win and this comeback? And we saw it with Seattle. We saw it with LA. We saw that these teams were having more opportunities to get back in the game. So if you're going to come out and you're going to change the fact that you've been giving up big leads in the first part of the game, you want to make sure at the end that you're not playing lazy and you're not giving up turnovers, which we've seen, and that help teams get back into the game. So we've seen a lot of teams that come in after halftime and they have these great stretches. Now we know one of the biggest phrases in basketball is it's a game of runs. We know that, right? However, you don't want it to be so many runs that now the team is coming back. And again, that is what we saw against LA, where LA at one point had the lead, and then Angel hit that three to tie the game, and it looked like, holy moly, like they may take this.
Let me ask this question. You know how we had that West Coast stretch, all the late games, and things like that. Do you think that played a factor in, you know, us losing at the time?
I mean, I think that it's like, I look at it like the Aces that got blown out after playing 3 games, I think in 4 days or something like that. I do think that, you know, fatigue can have a factor. Of course, your jet lag, I think that can have a factor, but at the end of the day, this is the schedule, this is your job, this is what you do. And there are no, to me, there are no excuses. You know, you come out, you do your job, and that's what you do. So, yeah, I mean, I think that we've had some bounce back stuff. At one point, we had lost 6 out of the last 7 games, and we got some really good wins, some good quality wins. When we played LA, LA had come in and had won 2 straight after losing badly in 3 of their losses. They had lost by almost 20 points. So for me, that game with LA was like a must win for both teams. You have one team that was trying to get back in the winning column and trying to regroup. And then you have LA, who was back in the winning column, that was trying to get some type of momentum after not only losing their GM, but also losing their, some say, best player in Kelsey Plum, as well as you have Cameron Brink that has been hurt, and at times when she did play, inconsistent. So that game was pivotal for both of those teams to come out with a win. And of course, what we saw was Atlanta was the team at the end. It seemed to me that wanted it more. I think both teams, of course, wanted it, but I think at the end of the day, it's what's left in that tank to push you through when the game is almost, you know, out of reach and things like that. So, yeah, so hopefully, I know this is a long-winded answer to answering what you asked, but, you know, I think it was more than just that, because we came back home and still had some struggles against LA, but of course, we prevailed as well. So, any other thoughts about what you've seen in these last few games? Because, you know, obviously, you talked about the losing streak. What were your thoughts on that? Of course, coming back, winning in LA, well, against LA.
I get, like you said, when the baskets wasn't falling, I felt like we just kind of fell behind that and just couldn't get our momentum back on that. And I think that's when you know, when they're not falling, they just kind of fall into like this, hey, I don't have it anymore, you know. So
right.
I mean, it's kind of hard to come back. Like, I don't know if you're an athlete, when coming back from a loss, and you know, especially like a losing streak of that extent,
right?
Kind of feel like I don't know, I don't have it anymore.
Yeah. So I think that this game is going to be important for the Dream, because we want to continue that momentum that you have,
right?
Because if you still look at it overall, the last 10 games or so has been pretty inconsistent for the Dream, and you want to again catch that momentum, get that, especially going into All-Star break. If you're able to capture 2 more quality wins against a very hungry Toronto team and a Chicago team that seems to be in flux right now, with all the things going on with them. If Atlanta can pick up 2 of these wins at the end before, it can be really good momentum going into the All-Star break that I really think that team can really use as well. So that's what I'm looking forward to seeing. It looks like we're going to get started here in about 3 minutes or so. So I just want to kind of wrap up some of my key points before we look at the game, and of course give some commentary of what we see tonight. Key players, of course, as I said earlier, Marina Mabrey is going to be my key to tonight for Toronto as well. Also, Bree Jones, I know that's probably the biggest story that she's back, and what we are going to see. What is it going to mean for the team tonight, and then going forward? Again, as I mentioned, going into All-Star break with some quality wins for Atlanta can be great, but also going into All-Star break with Bree getting some stuff under her belt, getting some playing time out of her belt, getting her body acclimated can be great for her
Mhm.
going into that All-Star break, but she'll have obviously a few more days
The rest.
to rest,
Mhm.
to get her body straight, and just because her body's gonna be shocked tonight. Like it's gonna be like, oh wow, it's been a while since I run full speed. Or it's been a while since I had to do a pick or screen and like pick and roll and all these things. I think that's something that I'm looking forward to tonight. So, closing remarks of our pregame show. What is it that you're looking forward to tonight?
Just a win. It's a must win. Just it needs to be because I feel good that we got that last win, so we just got to keep it going. Like we got to get out of this slump. That's the biggest thing. Biggest thing.
And so, my last question to you, I want to ask is, what were your thoughts on that win against the Spark? What were you at the game?
No, I didn't go.
No, you didn't see him. Okay.
No, I didn't. I wish, but you know what?
Can always come on Sunday.
I think the team was just excited. They was happy. You could just see it in their face. They felt good about that win. Especially how the team came together in the clutch and everything. I felt that was that strength they need to find again. Like like you said, they're very inconsistent. So kind of gelling back again and figuring it out at the right moment to get this win. I'm just excited to see how it plays out now.
Yeah, and before we go into the game that we are going to be doing commentary on tonight and just giving some just a little bit of what we see. As mentioned earlier, there are other games going on tonight, and right now on my laptop, I get to see Seattle, Indiana. So if I see some interesting things going on in that game, trust and believe I'm going to tell you what I see there as well. That's going to be an exciting game. And I just want to give a little bit of like thoughts on that particular game because it is on as well. What I'm very excited to see is that I want to see how Caitlin Clark is going to react. Of course, she's gotten so much criticism about how she reacted to the officials at the last game. I want to see how she's going to respond tonight. That's going to be very interesting to see. Of course, the Storm has a lot of great young players. I'm always excited to see Seattle play, especially ever since we saw them. They were one of the teams that beat Atlanta on that losing streak. Of course, they came back and prevailed at home against Seattle. But they're always that group of young players for Seattle is always just so exciting for me to see when I see Dominique Malonga, when I see Alwafam, and of course when I see Atlanta's on Flajay Johnson. Very excited to see what that core does together. And of course they had some senior leadership when Natisha Heidemann, and we asked her about being a leader, kind of a new role for her. She's always been like that role player. She was that fun player with the stud buds. She was the other half of the stud buds. And so now she's in a more of a leadership role and more of a, I now have to be the mentor to all these younger players on this team. So that should be exciting. Of course, Indiana has all of their all-stars. We actually just see it on the screen. Kelsey Mitchell, Leah Boston, of course, Caitlin Clark. So this is going to be a matchup of like the three young players, the exciting young players, and then, well, honestly, outside of Kelsey Mitchell, in essence, Caitlin Clark and Leah Boston are pretty young in their career as well. But you got three all-stars versus the three young players. So that should be very exciting. And actually, matter of fact, they're actually showing them on the screen right now, Dominique and Awa. I mean, those are two bigs that can shoot. And when we saw them play against Atlanta, pulled Medina O'Con off of that block. And that's how they came out to that 10-0 lead when they played us up in Seattle as well. So that should be a very exciting matchup between these players and these teams. So I think that even though we can't watch it on the laptop, I think that it's going to be very fun. And we may just switch it up and give you commentary on both games because why not? We're already watching it anyway. And it's about to be tip-off between both teams, or both games rather. So we have Toronto here at Esco Atlanta. Come in and join us with us. And then, of course, we have Seattle versus Indiana right here on our monitor that you can't see. But, of course, as a true media professional, I got to have my little TV here so I can see it. And in the first start of the game for Seattle, I think Caitlin Clark just got her first foul within 2.75 seconds of the game already got her first foul, but she was calm. She was composed. Did you see her face? Like, what did you think about that face that she just made?
Already?
It's like, it's like, oh my goodness, like, seriously? To start the game already as well. So it's like, we're going to try to do commentary on both of these games and do some, like, we have two eyes. We're like, one eye going to go here, and one eye going to go and one eye going to go there. We're going to try to watch both of these games and show you what's going on. Maybe I'll just watch this game and you'll watch the other game, and we'll just kind of see what is what and talk about what we see in both of these games as well. So now Caitlin has the ball. I'm going to be very oh, that was a good freaking pass. Ooh, that looked good, man. Wow. Good pass. Good. That was really good for Indiana early in the start as well for them. So I know it's like hard trying to watch.
I know. I'm trying to
do double duty for us. I know. Yeah, we have it here. So what you all can't see is that we have about 22 TVs going on in here.
I have to figure out.
So we got to figure out which one we're going to look at when we're looking at these games and giving you all some commentary, what's going on. And just, of course, if you're watching, you can see it with us. So we're just going to obviously give you just our reaction to what we see. And I talked about that matchup between Angel and Izzy Harrison. And I think that we're seeing it right now on the block. And we got a turnover by Atlanta. We talked about that matchup earlier now.
We definitely got to see.
They call a foul. Maybe I got to see that again.
Right.
Sometimes you got to look at it again. Like, was that really a foul?
Let's see.
Let's look at it again. Okay, this is the defensive play here. Oh, that was a foul. No, that wasn't a foul. That was actually a block.
That's what it looked like.
No, but this is the other side in the transition offense. That's what we're looking at now with Izzy at the line right now, missing that first free throw as well. So let's see what we got here. And the ball movement for Indiana already looks crisp. That's the best word to describe what I'm seeing so far with Indiana and their offense. Looking good. Of course, our girl Flange. What's she gonna do? What's she gonna do? Come on now. Come on. Okay. We love a good mid-range shot though. Mm-hmm. Love that, even though it didn't fall. I love to see players that can put a little mid-range shot into their bag of tricks. So that was pretty good. Another okay. Man, Ryan.
Ryan.
Missing that.
I said, like, well, who's gonna show up today?
You know, that's the question. That's kind of like who's gonna show up, who's gonna do whatever. Right now, 1-0. So I think it's safe to say like neither team is really like say who's gonna show up. I think that we're kind of looking to see who's gonna do what there. And I just want to hear a little from you. Is I know that we're just like trying to play double duty with these particular games, but in the Seattle Indiana game, like any exciting matchups, anything that you're just excited to see for that one?
Really?
No, man. I'm telling you, I got to get you some more on these other teams. I'm telling you, there's some exciting teams out there. That I think you're missing out on as well. So just give a quick update of some of the stats that we have with this Atlanta Dream game with Toronto. So neither team, well, let's just say this, both teams are 0% in field goal percentage right now. So we talked about early shooting, and what that's going to look like. And Atlanta right now is 0 for 5 in shots and field goal, and Toronto is 0 for 4 field goals. So both teams are getting points on the free throw line. And as we see, Atlanta's 100% with that. The 2 free throws, again, it's only 2 of them as well. So that's where the points that we have seen have come from so far. It's right there on the free throw line. Yeah. All right, let's see what Angel. I love Angel in that point forward because I just, man, like that's what she played a lot in high school was point forward. I love to see that. Man. Another miss by Atlanta. We talked about those starts and coming in quickly and getting the starts that they need. Looks like both teams are trying to find their rhythm right now. You know, so it just looks like both teams are trying to get that rhythm going, both in shooting and just really figure out, you know, how to get the offensive started for both teams that are, of course, shooting not so well right now. Oh, got too many people on that one side. Got to create some spacing. Another turnover. Man. So what are you noticing so far with Atlanta? I mean, in the first half of the first quarter.
Already, we're just kind of seeing that they're, that those, we just haven't picked up the momentum and the speed yet. And we're just not making the baskets. No one's scoring. I mean, it's for both teams, though.
No, yeah, both teams are kind of struggling, and we finally got some field goals going on. So the TV's a little behind than what we. So we're gonna have to just look at our behind the scenes stuff. So we do have a little bit of shooting, 28%, 20%. So still nothing to write home to mama about as far as shooting 1 for 6, 1 for 5. So both, like you just mentioned, both teams just kind of struggling a little bit. So even though it looks bad, turnovers really aren't as bad as we would think. Just 1 for Atlanta, and of course 2 for the tempo. Actually, there may be 3. Again, the TV and my stats are like they're not talking to each other. Right. I'm just gonna go with my stats because I feel like my stats are more in real time. So I'm gonna go. Yeah, that's exactly what it is because this says 7-6 and our TV says 7-5. So we're gonna go with our stats here and what we see. So yeah, so if you're watching TV and you see us say or you hear us say something or see something, it's because we can see the stats and what's happening behind the scenes than maybe what you all are seeing on your TV. So I want to just go and check out maybe this other game here because I need my girl here, Maggie T, to know more about these other teams over here.
Me too. I'm like,
I know she knows Caitlin Clark. Of course, she knows the player. That's not in question. It's just like, what do you feel like you want to know more about as far as maybe the WNBA as a whole, or even just like a team or player?
Well, for me, it was kind of before we figure out where to play it and watch it. It's like at first I couldn't find a way to watch all the teams, things like that. Yeah. And that was my biggest struggle, trying to find and be able to watch all of it to like figure out that you can do it on a certain app. So I missed a lot. I did miss a lot. So
no, I mean I know a lot of people did that. I mean, it's a lot of people have like purchased League Pass, for example, and then you're like, the game that I want is not even on League Pass. You know what I mean? So it's like, how am I supposed to realistically watch this game if you're telling me, like, I think all of these games are only available on Ion in your local area, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
And I just wish that they'll come up with a better solution for us to watch it when you're local. It's just all these streaming apps kind of make it difficult. And it's like a lot of people don't want to have to buy so many apps just for one team and one game. It's like combine them all together.
Yeah, and I'm somebody, I will not lie to you. I purchase a lot of apps. Okay, so here's what I have. NBA League Pass, WNBA League Pass, Major League Baseball, NFL Red Zone ticket, whatever costs $400 a year. I have that.
A year, but that's a year. A year.
You were like, oh, holy moly. Yeah, so yeah, no. But here's the thing, they give you a payment plan.
Okay.
They do. Because I can't miss I know. I can't miss certain teams and certain games. Otherwise, I know I'm gonna hurt their feelings. I'm forced to just watch the Atlanta Falcons. We love the Falcons here at KBS and at KBS. I am forced to watch just the Falcons. because that's all they show. Or if I go like home to my dad's house, he lives in Valdosta, so I watch. There's a lot of Jacksonville.
Okay.
You don't
Makes
see,
sense.
you really don't see like any Atlanta, to be honest with you. Or you see Tampa Bay. Tampa's the big one. We see a lot of Tampa Bay down there as well. So
Okay.
that's why I do it. Because it's like I go to my daddy's house, I can just go in the back room and watch what I want to watch. So that's why I do it here as well. So yes, I know it's sticker shock to you, but exactly. Yeah. So let's see what we got going on here with the dream again. We are gonna go to our handy dandy stats. And honestly, it's still the same.
Yes.
Oh, it's still the same. Oh, Brady's in the game. Okay, so now we want to
See the
gonna look and see. Okay, maybe we said all I see is she looks excited. I'm excited to see what my girl Bree does tonight. Like, wow, this is gonna get all of our attention in the next few minutes. So hopefully Carl didn't say, hey, that's enough. I don't know how long she's in the game, but I can actually see. Okay, if you're like me and you kind of like didn't see, she's been in the game for 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Okay.
Okay. 1 for 3. 2 points. That's awesome. That's good. That getting her in that rotation very early on. I don't know if I expected it to be this early on.
Well, I guess, hey, why not? Because I guess the same is struggling. So it's like, go ahead and get out
Yeah,
there and see what you can do.
Yeah. So that's exciting to see. So we'll see when we come back from the break and what she's gonna do. Again, we just saw 1 for 3. That's 33%. 2 points. Efficiency is a +2. So yes, don't agree. That +2 is great. It could be a negative. Like okay. We have a couple of negatives going on here as well as far as efficiency. I'm not gonna lie, I don't quite understand efficiency. But it's like what all is added to that. I feel like there's so many factors to that as well. So yeah, so looking at the stats here, what are you most surprised about? What stands out to you the most?
Well, just the minutes and
You feel free to scroll, honey bun. Go ahead. Scroll. Tell me to scroll if you need me to scroll a little bit. See what you got. Because there's a lot of stats. She's seeing the behind the scenes of what it's like to be a journalist.
yes.
And like all the stuff we have to look at and comment on or know about.
I see Toronto is kind of leading right now. Their point. Well, it's kind of balanced with the possessions and everything.
Yeah.
And 2 points. I mean, what do you feel? You feel like it's gonna pick up a little bit, or you think this is more of a defensive game on both ends?
I think that looking at turnovers, for example, we're looking at 3 from the tempo. That is a combination of good defense from Atlanta, but also a combination of sloppy play with Toronto as well. And we know that Atlanta is a really good defensive team, especially now we talked about their perimeter defense, probably not the best, but interior defense, they're very good with interior defense, which is why when we look at steals, Atlanta is actually top in the WNBA in steals. And when you have 2 players like Ryan Howard and Jordan Canada, who both are in the top for steals, that shows like how scrappy they can be in that interior defense, how they're able to close that middle and not give a lot of opportunities for teams. So if they can continue to do that, I think it should be really good for Atlanta. And then if we look at 3-point shooting right now, which we talked about can be an Achilles heel, that perimeter shooting for Atlanta. Right now, Toronto is shooting a 0 for 0, no attempts or anything like that. So they've been able to contain Toronto from the 3-point line, which again is something that Atlanta needs to work on as perimeter defense. So they're doing something well when it comes to that perimeter defense. So that's what sticks out to me. Points off turnovers also is different. You got a 7-2 advantage for Atlanta. That's something as well. So keeping those turnovers down on both sides is imperative because, again, we already see that Atlanta has 7 points off turnovers. So let's just kind of see what we got going on here. Atlanta's got a come out and had a 12-8 lead. Well, so you kind of asked what we see, and I think that we're seeing Atlanta kind of getting some momentum. We still see Bree out here. Very exciting to see Bree out here playing well, moving her feet, getting the steal. That's what we want to see. We see that conditioning, and definitely been working on that. Giving the ball back. It's always like give the big man the ball back. Whenever they do something well on defensive end, in this case, a steal, and then running down the court, you reward your big woman, big man, whichever you want to say, your big person, your trailer, you reward them by feeding them in the paint. And they did. And she did a give and go to Naz Hillman for that. That's what we want to see for Atlanta. And I think that's what we've been missing on that offensive end. Is Bree just brings that extra something to the team that they've been missing, and it gives Angel again an opportunity to play that point forward in her true position.
I think I was just watching though when she was walking back to the bench. It seemed like she's just a little slow walking back.
Yeah.
But so it's going, she's probably going to just get benched just a few times just to get her comfortable, because she's nursing that injury right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And we saw that obviously my MVP of the day, Marina Mabrey, just hit a three as well to close that gap to 14. I said she's gonna have a bounce back game. I felt very confident that 8 points that she had in her last game against Washington. Not I would say it's a fluke because that does happen, obviously, but I think that it was an opportunity for her to bounce back tonight as well. And so now we're seeing the actual 3-point shot by Marina as well. All right, let's look at, she just scored again. 2-point shot in the paint. Again, I love a good mid-range. I love a good shot in the paint. So she's definitely cooking tonight, putting her team on her back, as mentioned before. So now she has 9 points already in the first quarter. And so I know that I don't think you've watched a lot of Marina Mabrey this season. So far that you've seen of her, what are your thoughts so far from what you've seen from Marina? As somebody that you aren't as familiar with.
She's really good. I see why she can be an all-star. It's her points that she's making, her assists and everything. I like her.
Did we convert you over to a Marina fan?
Yeah, I like watching her.
Very exciting to see. And again, as you said, she earned that all-star selection. Great player, contributed a lot this season. And let me just, again, we got to keep going to our stats. What I like is that we can see it on the stat, and then we go back over here, and then we can actually see it in real time as well. So looks like tempo coming back, some free throws as well. So I think that we talked about having this game to be a close one as well. And then it looks like we also see some Jalen Sherrod is coming in the game as well. That's a new acquisition that Atlanta just picked up recently. And so right now it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players have gotten time for Atlanta. And so one of the things that Atlanta has been criticized for is their lack of rotation. Yeah. And we're seeing Coach Esco put in additional players and figure out what that rotation will look like. Now, Jalen may be playing because Tahina is out, but it still gives her an opportunity to show what she can do. And it's like next woman up. And we're seeing that with Jalen that's getting some playing time as well. So are you familiar with Jalen at all?
Not really.
Okay. Yeah, so I think it'd be nice to keep your eye on her tonight. See, what she brings to the table. She's right now 0 for 1 and field goals. But again, giving just much needed points and time and energy and whatnot for Atlanta off of the bench as well. So yeah, I'm just, we're here live, Esco Atlanta, here on Peter Street. Come out and see us. I know the weather is a little funky. And so while we're doing that, why don't we give a shameless plug? I love a good shameless plug. Maggie, tell everybody about your show, Maggie T. kickoff, right? That's
Yeah,
not
the Maggie T
Yes.
kickoff.
here. This
It's
floor is
gonna
yours.
be on Sundays from 10 to 12. So it's like the pregame until the game, because we normally go on at 1 o'clock. So just kind of giving you guys just what happened, practice, injury report, and just what we expected for our matchups. So
Yeah.
I'm excited about that.
And she's gonna have some interviews. And what makes her show special is that it's from the viewpoint of the fans. She
Mhm.
wants to be the voice of the fan. And what does that mean to you to be the voice of the fans when it comes to the Atlanta Falcons? And why do you feel that that's necessary?
Well, because I feel like sometimes, especially with the media now and who's on radio, we don't have a lot of people that are actually truly fans of the team that gives their opinions about the teams. And then of course ESPN don't love us. I can say that. So a lot of people are starting to go to like streaming and social media to find their commentary for the team. So a lot of them like to hear it from fans. That's why I commend some of the players that's doing their podcasts and things like that, because we get to hear it from former players, like Matt Ryan coming in, being the president and everything. I think that influence is helping the team find its identity.
Right.
They struggled a lot offensively because we just had quarterback situations for the past 3 years. So, but from the fan perspective, I feel like we're so invested in it. So we just want to win. It's been 60 years of no Super Bowl. Oh my God! So being a Falcons fan it's hard.
Right. Right. Okay, I understand that. And so you said something that I found that was very interesting when you said ESPN doesn't love the Atlanta Falcons. I know you're kind of joking, but there's a little truth to what you said there. When you say that, what are you actually trying to say that they don't love the Atlanta Falcons?
I guess because we haven't won. We haven't been consistent, and of course, we're in the South. Honestly, the NFC South isn't the popular coast conference, so I feel like all of us, all our teams, we're kind of honestly. I feel like the Falcons should have been leading, but they just coaching has been their kryptonite lately for the past few years. So there's nothing exciting to talk about. Well, we got Bijan Robinson and Drake London and those players. They have potential, but it's just not showing up on the field.
So is that a media thing with ESPN, or is that okay? So what I'm hearing is that ESPN and major networks don't talk about or show the Falcons because the Falcons don't win, and in essence, they don't like the Falcons. Is that
That's where I'm going. Yeah.
Okay. Now you also said something that you're seeing more and more players have their own podcast, their own streaming, whatever. And how do you think that that's helping not just their brand, but also helping to bring attention to their respective teams, or a team like Atlanta and what you're saying maybe doesn't get the media attention it deserves?
Well, I've seen it with the Falcons, where a lot of these former players also have kind of roles with the Falcons too, so they can kind of interchange in between, where they're using them a lot in just kind of being mentors to the team. The veterans are out there giving advice to the rookies and things like that. I think they're really big behind the quarterback right now, trying to develop this team. That's why they kind of wiped the slate clean for the coaching staff and started all the way over. I think that the Falcons' former players' influence has helped, because I had an interview with, I want to say, Chuck Smith, and he mentioned that he used to come in and maybe do like a little bit of coaching, but they wasn't trying to offer him the job. So a lot of the former players with that Super Bowl team in '98 didn't feel like the Falcons was giving them the recognition. But he also said it had a lot to do with coaching.
Okay.
Well,
So
making them feel welcome. But now I feel like this team now is welcoming that team now. So they're happy to be.
yeah,
involved.
I get it. Great, awesome. Thank you for sharing that shameless plug by Maggie T. And we're now at the end of the first quarter for the Tempo versus the Dream. And in that, one of the things that I want to highlight here is Marina Mabry having 14 points. Just being the star that she is, being very dominant in that as well. Does have 3 rebounds as well. And so just 1 turnover, just really having a really good all-around game as well. And so that's what we're looking for. She's 4 for 4 when it comes to field goal percentage, including a 3-point shot that we actually saw earlier today when we were doing the telecast. Also want to point out something that's glaring to me that's very exciting to see is that both teams are hitting their free throws. Both have had 10 free throw attempts already in this game. And so I know that a lot of people have criticized the officiating, but I'm wondering now that we're seeing that both teams are actually getting calls and people are going to the line. And the good thing, as I mentioned earlier, is that the teams are making their free throws. So with Atlanta, they are 90% at free throw line, and with the Tempo, they're 81% from free throw line. So that's helping both of the teams right now that are tied after the first quarter when 11 and 10 of their points have come from the free throw line. So what are some of your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, you just got to make those baskets and get it in. I mean, that's basically the purpose. So especially with the Atlanta Dream, I'm excited to see that 90%. That's pretty good. You just need to extend that lead though. Because it's close. So if we don't kind of get an extended in the lead, it's gonna be a tight game like this the whole entire other quarters.
Well, one of the things that Atlanta's going to have to work on is that 3-point shooting because they're 2 for 9 right now in 3-point shooting 22% from the arc. Now, if they want to continue to extend a lead or get some space in between that, and we talked about it earlier, when your threes are not falling, which they are not falling, what do you then go to? On the other side, the flip side of that, we're seeing Toronto are just 2 for 3, 66% from that. From the 3-point line as well. So it's really about, again, decision making the best shot, the high percentage shot is so important. So for Atlanta, if the 3-point shot continues to not fall, what do you do and how do you then adjust that and start taking, to me, a higher percentage shot with getting that mid-range shot? So I think that Atlanta is going to have to find the mid-range shot for this team, not just tonight, but going forward. It can't be just 3 or I'm driving. It has to be, I have to be able to get some mid-range shots in there as well. So another thing I want to look at is the turnovers. Toronto, we talked about this, had a slow start, played a little sloppy, had 6 turnovers. Definitely made a difference when we talk about the 9 points that Atlanta got off of that as well. So 40% of their points or so came off points on turnover. I'm not good at math. I'm just that's what it's looking like to me when it comes to that. So yeah, so now we're about to start the second period. And I think it may have already started. And then of course we see it afterwards on our TV here. So any thoughts that what both teams can do as they go into this second quarter?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure what the struggle is right now for both teams. It's just both of them just can't figure it out right now.
And we see Bree Jones is back in the game, definitely getting. I'm actually surprised the number of minutes, but I love to see it. I kind of want to just kind of take a look at this offensive or this defensive series with the Dream, just kind of see how she's moving, shifting those feet, moving her feet, looks good. Of course, I don't know if there's anything else that she could have done on that particular play. She had her hands up, sliding her feet, but of course, that was just a really good play as well. So looking at her on the offensive end, seeing her move, setting picks and screens, asking for the ball, calling for the ball, getting double teamed. So we're already saying respecting their game, getting that double team. So people are already saying, hey, we know that Bree Jones is serious, and we know that she's somebody that we need to look out for as they double team her when they saw that she got that ball as well. And I love to see a lot more back up to the basketball that we're seeing for Atlanta now that we did not see a lot from Atlanta in Bree's absence, is that she is that get the ball, call for the ball, down on the block, back up kind of big person that we like to see that we haven't seen. And that's not really Angel Reese's game, and that's okay. Now Angel Reese, again, as we mentioned so many times before, gets to slide over and do what she normally does on the offensive end as well. And I think it also gives a little bit of relief to Angel Reese as well to be able to play in her position. Right now, we're seeing Nas and Bree playing on the block together for Atlanta. And once again, perimeter shooting, we're starting to see what Toronto is that they're shooting good 3-point shots. And Atlanta, we keep talking about this. If it's not falling, what do? You got to find that mid-range. You got to find somebody on that block. We keep talking about it, keep stressing about it, which is why they're now, I want to look at the stat here, and the 3-point shooting, which is why they're now shooting 18% from 3-point line. You've got to stop shooting those 3-point shots, and you've got to find other ways to get active on the offensive end, where we're seeing for the Tempo, who only have one more field goal, but they're 3 for 4. They're a lot more selective when it comes to making that 3-point shot or attempting that 3-point shot. That's going to make a big difference there. So we see another 3-point shot, another miss. Another miss. Want to see, okay, giving the ball to Bree, backing down. There we go. Mid-range shot. How many times am I going to have to stress tonight to shoot the mid-range shot for Atlanta? That's what we saw. It is a higher percentage shot than the 3-point shot. And we are seeing them time and time again going away from that. And I love that Brianna Jones is going to bring that to the Dream, which is what they need if they want to have some success later on in the year.
I think what it is, they just keep thinking, okay, 3 points would kind of get the score going up, but it's like you're not making them. So
you're shooting 16%. Let me say this again. You're shooting 16% behind the 3-point line. It's time to say this is not working.
Right.
Let me feed Brianna on the block. I'd rather than feed Brianna and she misses 7 out of 7 times than you shooting a 3-point shot and you keep missing the shot. That's the difference that we're seeing in this game. We just saw another mid-range shot by Toronto. The shot selection is a big difference in this particular game. You know, I gotta fix that. You know, I just feel so passionate about that. You know, you just have to. Okay, what are we gonna say? The shot selection for both the Tempo and Dream is making a difference in the game. There we go. So yes, shot selection for both the Tempo and the Dream is making a difference in the game. I mean, the stats are, they're back up to 21% though. It's making a difference. We're seeing that. So Nas Hillman just made a 3. Well, she made it. We're just now seeing it. So now I do see that we obviously the Atlanta Dream missing Tahina Pau, which I think could have provided a little bit of spark. She used to provide that spark for the team off the bench. And I think that we're missing that as well. Again, driving to the basket. We need to see more drive to the basket. More of that. Stop shooting threes. Not needed. That's a foul. I love the intensity of this game. Now, I want to give a shout out to Esco for hosting us here, having us here, being so just nice and accommodating. And so let's talk about Esco for a second. What's your favorite dish here at Esco?
I tried everything. I think when I came here before, I liked the egg rolls.
Oh, okay. I hadn't had any egg rolls before.
It was they was doing samples. It was some type of hip hop competition or whatever. They was doing a lot of samples. They egg rolls are great.
Okay. I like that. All right, let's see what we got here. We already saw seeing people comment on threads and whatnot. Let's check the other game. You know, while we're on the commercial break, why not just check out what's happened both our commercials right now? But again, making it very hard for people to watch these games. Oh my goodness. Oh, I don't know what that little dance is. When people do, I don't know.
Oh, that little
I think they like
right.
No, I don't consider the old lady. I'm the auntie, so I don't know. Like,
My kids know it, but yeah.
exactly, the babies know it. We too old to be doing what that is. And so at the game, they said, "Well, what's the dance that you guys do? The stanky leg?" Well, yeah, that's the dance that we did back in the day. So I just want to check out, see what Indiana. This cannot be live. There's no way. I'm gonna refresh this because I don't think that that's live. It cannot be live. That's why I'm gonna refresh it. I'm gonna see because I don't think that I don't think that score's live. Yeah, let's see here. I'm gonna try to redo it. Give me a second. Okay. You're right, exactly. I knew it wasn't live.
Oh, okay.
No, we were like, wait, hold up. What's happening right now? Okay, it's actually 52-41 in the second period as well. So, all right, everybody, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go until halftime. Right? This is our first continuous live broadcast. Only we're on the radio and playing some music, so you all get you had a chance to listen to us. We've been on here for an hour and 12 minutes.
Nice.
Right. Wow. You know what? I'm just telling you. I want to give a special shout out to those commentators, who do this all game. And just being a little girl, I said there is no way in the world I can do this all day. Just and I can talk. But boy, like I have a newfound respect.
Right. I can watch it,
gosh.
but I guess talking and commentary it is different.
It is definitely different when you're commenting on it while watching it. Kudos to those that do it. When I was watching, I was growing up, my favorite was Marv Albert. He was my favorite. And I'm just like, man, like, you got the play-by-play person. I could probably be a color person because I can talk all day. Let me be the color person, okay? Let me just say random things. Like, hey, he's from Nova Scotia somewhere, right? Who doesn't like ice fishing? That would be me. They just said, like, who does that? Jeff Van Gundy. It's like, Jeff, what are you talking about? That's me. I can be that. I can get me a good play-by-play person. You do that, and then hire me for colors. Boom. We are good to go. All right, then what we're looking at here in this particular game, again, we're going to go to our okay. Tempo have scored 14 points in this second period. And all right, I like to kind of look at the comparison from one quarter to the next. All right, let's see what we got going on here in the who that has 7 points. Man, Dreamer, Tempo's finding different players to step up and score. And that's what you want. It's like, hey, Marina did her part in the first period, so who's gonna now do their thing? What's playing right now? That one song we said we like, Beyonce.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? You may be right. This might be a playlist.
You got it.
We got to. You know what? We're gonna have to ask 'Cause I like this playlist. Let me ask again. Hi. Come on over here. Can you come here for a second? Again, this is live, people. We're here. Esco Atlanta. So I'm gonna ask this gentleman about this playlist because I really like it. First time I heard this Beyonce song, and I was like, yeah, I like it. Is this a playlist?
What?
Is this a playlist?
I don't know.
The music. You don't know? He's up in the back cooking. Why don't you bring the girl over here? You said I don't know. What you cook back there? Oh, okay. I hadn't ordered anything today, so yeah. Thank you. I think so too. Because if so, I need that playlist. No, because Chris Brown was before this. There's 2 Chris Brown songs before this. The first I thought it was a Chris Brown album, the new one. Then I was like, oh no, this. If I hear this one more time, that must mean there's something about this song because you know how you hear it like 3 times or see something 3 times?
Yes.
It's got to be something. It's got to mean something. All right, back to our scheduled programming and looking at this game. Wow. Tempo, definitely. All right, what we got here? Hey, what happened to our music? They changed it? Oh, they just changed it. They definitely changed the playlist. Oh,
Maybe he thought he was saying complain or something.
right. And I'm like, wait, what happened? What happened? Can we put it back on? We put that playlist back on, please. Yeah, okay, what we got going on here? 3 minutes and 42 seconds. Man. Driving to the goal, okay, so right now we have 3-1. I'm gonna still try to get that playlist. So I really want to do that. You gotta pull them over here. This is live. This is real. So I don't want to be that person that's screaming out to somebody.
Right.
Yeah.
They're not paying attention.
They're not paying any attention. So I'm just like, he said he was gonna ask and find out for me, but like,
Get back there.
we said he's always in the back. That's what he said. So I'm gonna try to like, hi, excuse me. Yeah, they literally like switched it. So that's okay. I did like the other playlist better. I don't even know what this is. So I'm gonna ask. Yeah, so we got some comments on Threads. And I said shot selection, and it said, yep, Dream cleaning it up considerably after this timeout. So they're asking for them to clean it up. And let's look. You know what? I'm gonna look in the Atlanta Dream group. So there is an Atlanta Dream fan HQ group, and I just want to see what they're talking about in there. They said, so we not practicing bounce passes. Okay. They're packing the paint. We can't hit anything from outside. That's what we said as well. We won't say that comment or that one. Okay. Brianna Jones just made a first mid-range jumper for the Atlanta. Yeah, we talked about the mid-range shot too. Like we've been talking about that. So it looks like everyone is noticing the mid-range has kind of like been lacking for Atlanta, and we need to improve that. So I think that if I have a chance to be on the pressure this evening for the Dream, that's what I'm going to ask Coach is the shot selection and the mid-range. So let's look at stats again let's go overall. Well, you know what? Looks like a 3-point shot. One. Let me see if I get her attention. Hi. Hey. Kennedy, right? Hey, Kennedy. Leon's right, girl. So, yeah, 1 for 5. For Atlanta. Yeah, I want to ask her like the music I was playing before. Was that a list? Question. So we asked the guy in the back if the music before was a playlist. Is it? Is the music on the playlist? The music that was on before, because now it switched to this. I don't know why. So it's just, like, we just let it play. Right, but was it a playlist? We just let it play. Like we just press play and then we just play whatever. Okay. I was wondering where the source of the music was coming from. It's on my iPad. Oh, it's you. Well, it's not me, but like we just have the iPad behind the bar and we just press play, make sure music just continues. Oh, okay.
She was trying to figure out
I
what
was trying to
playlist
figure out
it
what playlist it was because it was a really nice playlist.
Yeah.
It was different from this.
Yeah, for sure. I like you. I'm gonna see if I can shuffle it and try to get back to that.
That's okay. I was like, man, I really like this playlist that you guys had when I walked in.
Sometimes we'll go to like R&B, like you know how you could go on Apple Playlists and then it'll show you like the library and then it has like the radios. We'll like click one and just search.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think that was because we heard the song about an hour ago, then it came back, and I was like, oh, I think it's on rotation. So whatever it was, it was a vibe. Let's just say that it was definitely a vibe. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. All right, let's look at what we got here. So it looks like Atlanta scored. Okay. Okay. We're laughing, but we're laughing like inside people, like outside too, because right now, in this quarter, we are now 1 for 7 with 14% for 3-point shot. And if we look at Toronto, again, shot selection, very meticulous about what they're shooting. They're 1 for 2, so 50%. That's something that is going to have to be addressed. It is something that we've been seeing all season. And, you know, the one thing about playing commentary today is that you see a lot more when you have to look at it so you can be able to talk about it. I mean, I think I've noticed it, but I feel like I'm noticing it a lot more than before, you know? So that's definitely going to be something. And just refreshing, see what we got going on here. So about probably from that to what we have in real time, probably about 2.5 minutes left in the first half. And the biggest difference that I'm seeing so far, if I go full and see what's going on here, is 3-point shooting. One of the biggest differences here, we're seeing 23% from 3-point land, whereas Toronto is 60%. Even field goal percentage. Now Atlanta has shot up to 40%, where Timbo is 60%. That's definitely the biggest difference. Now, and also what we're seeing, which I don't think is surprising, is that defensive rebounds. Toronto has 12 of those. 12. He's like, hey, they made a shot. They made a 3-point shot.
Getting close though.
And it's Atlanta's has now taken the lead. They're now taking the lead. So it's kind of like you live by the 3, you die by the 3. It's one of those things where like we're gonna keep shooting because yes, it brings us back into the game, but also if we don't make them,
you gotta change it.
Then you gotta change that. So, but right now, I think we may be. Let's look at what we got here. Yeah, so we may be at halftime right now. Yeah, we could possibly be at halftime right now. So yeah, I mean, like with all the bad shooting, Atlanta should still be able to have a 1-point lead. Says a lot. But if you look at, I want to look at shot attempts because that may make a big difference in those shot attempts as well. So also, and that's one of the things I wanted to actually look at was that despite the fact that Atlanta is shooting so poorly, they have more shots, which is why they have the lead. Because now it's back again, it's going back and forth, but they're shooting so many more shots in Toronto, which is again what's causing them to still either stay in the game or take the lead as well. So we just heard it there. It's been an 8-0 run at that time for the Dream that, of course, has brought them back in the game. And another rebound that we just saw. We just talked about the rebounding for the Tempo. And if you look at total rebounds, Toronto is out rebounding Atlanta by 5. And Atlanta is one of the best rebounding teams in the league as well. So the big difference, as we just mentioned, defensive rebounds. Offensive rebounds, where Atlanta usually is dominating everybody, it's only a two rebound difference in offensive rebounds. Definitely showing that the Tempo of getting onto that block and getting those rebounds that are taking them away from Atlanta when they normally have them as well. So I would venture to say that we're probably at halftime, and now we are at 48-47 going into halftime with Atlanta with the lead, which I think that most would say that little run that they had at the end of the second quarter definitely helped immensely after all of the bad shooting. So what were some of your thoughts of the first half as we close out our live? Again, we've been on here for 90 straight minutes. Can you believe that? I mean, we are so impressed with ourselves. Definitely.
I feel that they're, I don't know, it's coaching that's making it where he's not making this game time decisions to maybe not shoot so many
Like
threes
in the
right
game,
now.
coaching?
Yeah. Where the baskets are not falling, so it's like we got to kind of come up with something different that's going to work. I think what it is, they're just trying to get 3 points because it kind of puts them. They were attempting to get in the lead with 3 points because it's more points, but I don't know. It's not falling. They're unsuccessful with it right now.
Yeah, and I talked about some of the keys that I saw in that first half. Of course, they were able to stop and slow down Marina Mabry, who wasn't. I don't think she scored in that second period. Let me check and see. I think that they were able to keep her. Let's see. Yeah, they kept her scoreless in that second period. So kudos to Atlanta Dream for making that adjustment with Marina and to cut down her shooting as well in that particular. But what we saw is that they also got offense. The Tempo did from someone else in that particular quarter. Also, what we saw was Alicia Gray stepping up and having 10 points and having the only player for the Dream to have double digits in that second period made a difference that we saw as well. Some other notable things that we actually have talked about in that game, of course, the rebounding difference as well, seeing that Atlanta's been out rebounded by 5 has been a big difference. Shooting has been a difference right now. There's a 13% difference between field goal percentage, but the biggest one that I'm seeing, of course, is the glaring 3-point percentage with the Dream. Hopefully they come out in the second half and have better shot selections, try to get more into the mid-range, and let's rely on a 3 because, yes, it's helped you get back in the game. But what happens when we saw in the first half and most of the second period where you were behind because you were trying to shoot those shots. So, all right, any last minute words you want to say to the people before we sign out here at Esco, Atlanta?
I just hope that we, come back and kind of adjust and come back out winning, hopefully.
All right, everybody. This is KB with KB Sports Media, KBSN, reporting live with our live remote here at Esco, Atlanta, here on Peter Street. Make sure to come back and see us. We're still here. We'll still be here as well, but we're going to end our live stream for tonight. We have 5 more watch parties coming up. Feel free to go to KB Sports Media 2025 on Instagram and KB Sports Media 1 on Facebook to check out that schedule. You can also go to KB Sports Chick or Lakeisha KB Brooks or Maggie Thornton and Maggie T on her social media platforms, as well as Escobar Atlanta, to check out the final 5 days that we will be here. Also, before we go, I want Maggie to let you know we have a special announcement for the Atlanta Falcons. As you know, she will be having her Maggie T kickoff show, and at Escobar here, September 19th, we have a big party happening. This is going to be your 4th annual, 5th annual. And so, Maggie, let them know what that party is going to be and why we should be here.
It's called the Red Black event. So it's a pretty much I moved it from July where it used to be where it was hot. So I moved it to September, right in the middle of the season where we're going to be playing the Carolina Panthers the next day. So it's a pep rally, if you will, right before the games. A lot of people are going to be in town for that because it's a rival game. So it's going to be exciting. We're going to do a little bit of pregame karaoke, and then of course it's going to be a DJ and music and good food because look, the food is amazing here. I can come out here and check it out. Definitely. So I'm excited just to have this space for that.
Yeah.
And it's right by up the street from the Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Yeah, it's gonna be a party. If you like to party, have fun, they have hookah if you're into that. They have an outdoor patio. It's gonna be very fun. We're gonna turn this place up. Maggie is gonna have a special guest performer. She's not announcing it yet because she's still trying to do the last minute arrangements for that as well. But check out that. Where can we find information about the party?
You can find it on my platform, Maggie T Productions on all social media, or Maggie Thornton on Facebook. And yeah, I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, X, wherever you can find me. And Threads. Threads is a big one too.
Threads a big one. So again, it's KB Sports Media. Make sure to check out Hoops and Her, the first show live broadcast on KBSN. So you can check it out here on Instagram. You can check it out on Facebook, but as well as KBSN app on Roku and Amazon Fire TV. So make sure to download that. And that's going to be Tuesday, every Tuesday from 12 p.m. to 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Yes, I got that right. For Hoops and Hers. And we have an esteemed panel I will be moderating. We have 3 esteemed analysts who know women too. They know basketball in general. All right, everybody. We will see you later. Again, reporting live from Esco, Atlanta, here at downtown Atlanta on Peter Street.